Hey, welcome back.
Good
I'm
morning.
Sean, and this is Ben.
Hello, I'm Ben. Good morning.
Good morning, Ben.
Yes, good morning.
Depending on where you're at in the world.
Depending where you're at. Right, yeah.
Hey, Ben, guess what?
What?
We have some brand new sound effects.
We do?
Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
hold on,
Ben,
then.
First
Yeah.
of all, I get one time this show that we get to use the applause button, and I'm going to save that. But Sparkles has lent us his voice to give us this.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get to use that as
That's
much
right.
as I want.
I remember that.
The applause button only once, but the bruh I get to use as many times as I want.
Yeah.
Also, Ben, if I approve of something that you say or do, like, go ahead and say something.
Today is April 24th. Okay.
All right. Now say something I disagree with.
I think that the speed limit should be no higher than 25. Okay. Does it have to be that? Why does that second one have to be that annoying?
Why does the
like
buzzer
so
have to be that
loud.
aggressive?
I don't know.
There's nothing like letting your son know. For those of you that don't know, I'm a kids pastor at Destiny Christian Center. I also work with the district title, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And my son, Ben, is my assistant / Comanche.
Yes.
Wait, commando.
Yes.
Comradre.
Companion. I don't know. Whatever it is.
Yes.
Ministry
in
assistant.
Kids ministry
Yeah.
assistant. Though sometimes I feel like when you help me, it's more like this.
Oh yeah. No, for sure. Especially, that's what happened.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to use that. I'm going to use that buzzer as much as possible.
Oh, please.
So, Ben, what's new with you?
What's new? I don't know. I don't know what's new. Everything's. Oh, sorry, wrong. Everything's new. Everything's new.
All right. I'm gonna come over and have this button taken away.
Yeah,
My
let me
father's
take it away.
also here. Hi, Dad.
Hi, Grandpa.
Grandpa filled in for you while you were out being lazy
Yes.
last week.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
You
I
got
missed
sick.
last week.
Hey, Ben, you know what it sounded like when you went to the bathroom last week?
Oh dear. What?
Okay, for real, I'm done. All right, we got to move on here. Hey, thanks you guys so much for watching. By the way, this is for all of you gamers out there.
Oh
We're on
yeah, you
Twitch.
gamers.
Twitch.tv/Muskimo_Joe.
That's right.
For all you guys playing Call of Duty and you suddenly want to watch a show about the inside and behind the scenes of kids ministry,
Right.
well, then you know where to go.
We got-
Twitch.tv/Muskimo_Joe.
Brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
I don't. Hey, Ben,
Yeah?
is anyone on Twitch even watching this right now?
I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like, but I refuse to give up.
I don't want to give up. I want
be front
I want
page.
some guy eating Doritos and drinking Mountain Dew that's playing like Escape from Tarkov to like suddenly go, what's this? It's a show about kids ministry?
And then, and that's the story of his salvation.
And that's the story, and that's how he got saved.
That's right.
I want to meet this person. And you know what? When I get to heaven, I'm going to hear this.
Right. This is totally weird. Do you remember when there was during COVID, there was that virtual reality church that was in the metaverse?
Oh.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Very interesting.
Terrible. By the way, this is going to be a nice segue into our next segment. I don't like ebooks. And I'm sorry if you're watching and you like ebooks. I can't stand ebooks. I think they're the bane of society.
Explain.
I think that ebooks, they don't have a smell to them. You can't do this. You can't crease a page. You can't highlight a page. And for all you people that are going, you can highlight it in your reader.
Okay, first of all, smelling it is a very weird selling
I
point.
like smelling a book. And when you're at the pool and your page gets wet and it wrinkles and you look back on that with fond memories because you know you read a book in the pool, then that's
What?
really important.
You can look back on your iPad with fond memories when it doesn't turn on anymore.
I think people are going to leave because of that. They're like, please stop ringing that buzzer.
Yes.
All right. Hey, we are approaching summer season, and that's exciting. And all of you guys, Rebecca Withy says, I agree 1,000%.
That's right. About my statement.
Not 100%, 1,000%. Rebecca Withy?
There you go.
There we go.
Jeez.
There's something about a book. It's just, I'm telling you, it's like you
It
turn
is
the
good.
page, you feel the page in your hand, and I like putting my finger in a book like this, and I like holding my spot and just turning the page. And you can't, you know what? Technology is fun, but sometimes you got to get away from it. All right?
Yes. Oh, yes. Rebecca Withy does say that the ebook should die.
The ebook should die. It's
We should
the
just get
bane
rid
of
of
our
reading.
existence.
I think we should just project books into our brains so we don't have to read
Yeah.
them.
Also, people that use their phones for Bibles. Okay, we're going down a rabbit trail.
Well, that's nice. That is very useful if you're on the. I mean, I feel like the Bible app
I
is
almost
very
buzzed
useful.
you. I almost buzzed you.
Yes,
But
buzz
it's
the
time
Bible.
to go to
Father.
our book intro, Ben. We got to get to the book.
To the
That's
book.
important. This book is called Raid Shadow Legends. I'm just kidding.
The strategy guide.
It's Creating Theatrical Magic is the book that we're on this month by Max Howard. You can buy this book. If you Google it, it's going to be expensive, but I tell you what, it's worth it.
You know,
Again, it has a DVD in it that
Yeah.
you watch when you read the book. Ben, what were you going to say?
I was gonna say I tried finding it. I had a hard time finding it.
It's really hard to find. You may have to go to Magic Supply companies. You may have to, but I'm telling you, it's worth
Yeah.
it.
Is it in print? They're probably not printing it anymore.
No, it's in print. And you know where you can't find it? On an ebook.
Well, that would be nice.
No. it
Just
wouldn't
kidding. Just wanted to see.
But I want to read it as excerpt because this is something that I have personally, like having all these years in kids ministry, have had to deal with, and that's the I'll just read it. So it says, having said that, Max, as I've seen the show enough to know that you are almost entirely word perfect. Even before you wrote the script down, it wasn't that you were improvising. I mean, Gus is saying the things he says. And then Max says, on purpose, because in our show, The War Wizard, we're asking audiences to be involved with us and with themselves in ways that most magic acts don't ask. We want people to feel awe in this show. We want to present some challenging ideas, so we have to produce an environment in which those ideas can happen. And this means one needs to carefully craft words that will lead to people's thoughts and emotions in an entertaining way, so they will voluntarily become involved to the point that they are no longer thinking about the experience they are having. Anything you do that disrupts this is counterproductive to your success as a performer. Our job as actors and performers is to understand how everything, and I mean everything, from the smallest moment to the grandest speech, serves a purpose and creates effects. So the question is, do you script every moment when you're presenting something to kids? Now, a magic show is different than Kids Church because Kids Church we're doing something different every single week, versus a magic show you're perfecting the same act over and over and over again. But I say it's important to craft your words, and I think you need to be careful how you say things and you really practice how you present, because you do want to create those emotional experiences. However, there's also magic in the improv and being okay with messing up, especially in front of kids. So I say it's a careful balance between the two. And if your words aren't carefully crafted because you're being lazy or you didn't have enough time or you just kind of just didn't think about it, I think you need to spend that time thinking about it. But as far as like memorizing a script, I don't agree with that either. I think it's a balance between the two. So there you go. Creating Theatrical Magic by Max Howard. This book is an absolute treasure. And if you can get this book, then add it to your library before they're truly all gone, because this is a gem.
Absolutely. I think especially after what you just read, it's if you just take out some of the words and replace it with some of our lingo like messages, kid services, it's super good. I think its main thing, it's creating theatrical magic, which is just very, very creative communication.
Yes.
So it's good.
I like that, Ben.
Cool,
very, very creative communication.
Oh, thank you.
deserves
Yay,
a
I
ding.
got a ding.
And magic is creative communication. I like that. In fact, I may steal that. I've often said too many words to get to that, but you've just summarized something that's always been in my head, so thank you.
Grandpa told me about that.
Should we awkwardly hug over all the wires and everything?
No, I think we're okay.
Okay, we're okay. Just know that I love you.
Thank you.
I'll get you a
appreciate
Christmas
that.
present this year.
Yay!
All right, hey, it's time to get to our Vault video. This is an old video featuring one of my greatest friends. Speaking of friends, Ben, we have some great guests on the show today.
Oh boy, I'm
So
excited.
don't go anywhere. I should have announced that at the beginning so people knew to stick around.
Yes, we have cool people.
Right, because we had 1,000 people
important
watching
people.
in the first 10 seconds, and they all left when I hit the buzzer.
All of them were on Twitch.
If you're on Twitch, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let's just get to it.
Hello and welcome to Camp TV. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Harry. Hey, how you doing? Hey, I got a question for you. Hey,
Camp TV is all about following you throughout this week in everything that is happening in the games, at the services, at meal times, just following you, doing some amazing things.
Hey, did you hear that? Did you hear that one, Caleb?
I heard that.
This is called a whistle.
I think
hey,
everybody heard
I got a question for you. How come you blow a whistle and it makes a sound?
What are you eating?
I'm eating pickles and ice cream, Caleb. This is what they're serving at camp all week. Pickles and ice cream.
No, kids, camp food is amazing this year.
This is delicious. Hey, Caleb, this is pretty good. You want to try some?
No, I don't.
This is absolutely delicious.
That's disgusting. So kids, remember, when you're coming to eat, be orderly and fashion. We're gonna help out with cleaning up also part of this week, so remember to talk to your counselors, the people.
Hey, sometimes I like to finish my pickle ice cream and I like to polish it off with a big bottle of mustard. Well, yummy, Caleb. And then I can polish it off with some more lemon juice. Oh, there's fresh on the squeezer. That's really good, Caleb.
Oh man, poor Caleb.
Hey Ben, you know what's really weird about that? That was from our very, very first Camp TV. You know what's really, you know that something really about that video that just really weirded me out. Like, I'm not weirded me out, but like, there's something really crazy about that video.
What is it?
It's when Caleb said, "Be an orderly and in fashion."
Being orderly and fat. That's right. Also,
that's the only thing that was weird about that video.
That that was amazing. It's like that's.
I just
so
talked
funny.
to Caleb right before our show, and I was like, "I'm bringing this up, Caleb, but why'd you say be an orderly and fashion?"
Yep.
And he goes, "It didn't matter what I said because you were acting crazy, and I could have said anything, and nobody was going to listen to what I said."
There was no way you're commuting anything effectively.
No,
I
and also Caleb, your hair. Looking at that video, your hair was already going away, so it didn't matter if I butchered it and it never grew back. That's not my fault. That's your family heritage fault.
That's right.
So. And by the way, those of you watching, that really was pickles and ice cream, and it really was mustard. And it really was lemon juice all in my mouth.
It was horrible. I remember you filmed that, and like I was inside in the living room, and you came in, and you were just like, after that, you're all like happy, but then you come in and go, like you're going over.
Yeah. And the only thing about Reporter Harry that's the same, if you've noticed, is his jacket. That's the only thing we've kept in that character.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he said, "I got a question for you," and then asked a question. Well, Reporter Harry never asks questions after he says, "I got a question for you."
Never got a question.
So, hey, we are now at the time where we get to interview our guest.
Interview time.
We are, and by the way, Ben, I don't know if most of you guys know this, but Ben, I don't have the ability to show this right now, but can you show our title? Like it says title on the sequences.
Yes,
go ahead and show that title. When we design or I should say when I design the title page for our show, I always use images from AI. And when you do stuff I put in married couples in ministry, and this is the image minus the effect logos and the titles and stuff I added. That image in the background is created in AI. And I don't know what this has to do. It looks like the bean chair is like hugging I don't know. It's weird. Or the lady has a white, I don't know. It's a weird photo. Why are their heads so small? Anyways, I'm wasting time here. But today we're talking about being married and being in ministry with your married. Too many words. Wow, Ben.
Too many words. Being married in ministry.
Being married to your spouse. Being in kids ministry with your spouse. That's the great way to say it. And we are interviewing the Richters out of Green Valley Church in Las Vegas. So, Richters, welcome to the show.
Hello. Hey, thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Thanks for being on. Now, for years and years, I've always called it Garden Valley. And it is Green Valley.
It is Green Valley.
Oh. Right when I said it, I went, great. It's called Garden Valley, and I've messed it up because for years I called it Garden Valley, and there's Green Valley. And so, anyways, those of you watching, this is the Richters out of Las Vegas, and you guys have the coolest office I've ever seen in a kids' church. Yes, I believe the Richters. Rebecca says the Richters are the best And I agree. But yes, you guys have an amazing office, and we got to tour a few weeks ago, and I was really impressed.
Yeah, it's cool. We have our kind of like area outside, and then everything else is kind of like connected to that. All the office spaces themselves. So receptionist area, and then everything else, the boardroom and all that stuff.
Yeah. I like how you guys are all like your youth ministry, kids ministry, student ministry. You guys are all like together, because just last week we talked about youth ministries, kids ministries working together, and I think you guys just do that in an excellent way. So well done. So give us a little background. You're the Richters. Give us your names, your ministry roles. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm David, and I'm the children's pastor at GV Christian, or Green Valley Christian, not Garden Valley Christian. And I have been in this role for the past 3 years. But before that, I was took a role of like a intern, if you were, at GV Christian, and just kind of learning how to become a pastor. And so I felt like I've been called to kids ministry since 2010, and just have pursued that call ever since.
That's awesome.
Excited to be in the place that I am now.
Yeah. Korea.
Yeah, my name is Korea, and I think actually I was called into ministry in 2010 as well. Or no, I'm sorry, it was not. It was 2012, I think. Shortly after I got involved in Chi Alpha, I was called into full-time ministry and ended up in Vegas, basically working with an anti-human trafficking organization.
Wow.
David, and we got married and realized our schedules were complete opposite. I was doing outreach until like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And he had more of a job that fit more during the day. And we just prayed and felt like it was time for me to leave that ministry. And I was like, well, I'd like to do kids ministry with you. And I started working at the preschool here, and then opportunities just opened up, and now I am David's assistant. That's what I call myself. I'm kidding. I am the kids ministry assistant, but I also head up our early childhood for church. So.
Okay. Well, my bad. I pressed the wrong button.
I got Korea to volunteer in kids church upstairs with me. I call it upstairs because our kids room is upstairs,
right,
with our 1st through 5th graders. And she did not enjoy it.
I did not.
And she never told me. But she was like, how can I be downstairs with the kindergarten and unders?
Okay, so this is interesting. So you actually did kids church with David when you first started, and you did not enjoy it personally.
I did not enjoy being with the older kiddos. I would disappear down to the nursery.
Yep.
Every Sunday.
That's awesome. Okay, so our topic today is interesting because being in ministry and being married is a big undertaking. It is. It's a big undertaking. A lot of God needs to be involved. But being in ministry together in the same ministry and being married is adds to the interesting dynamic of it. So talk to me about how you guys make marriage and ministry work. And I know it's a huge question with 1,000 different answers, but how do you guys because marriage is marriage and ministry is ministry, and I know you have to separate the two, but you do work together. So how do you guys make all that work?
Well, I think we're honestly still trying to figure that out as well, and just recently we had a conversation of how we need to have our times to ourselves. So we need to take time for her to read a book and for me to not read a book, because I don't.
Not an ebook, right? You listen to ebooks?
I do not listen to ebooks. I listen to audiobooks, but I guess same thing, kind of.
Ben, how do you crop David out of this frame? I'm totally kidding. So you guys say that getting time alone is essential.
Yeah.
Yes, we are together all the time. We also have 2 kids, so we're parenting together, working together, living together, eating together, everything. We're together all the time. So.
And how old are your kids?
We have a 2-year-old and a 10-month-old.
Woo! You guys aren't busy or anything.
Not at all.
So getting that time alone, that absolutely requires teamwork, though, because it's not like your kids are 12 and you can say, "See ya, kids,"
Yeah.
So you guys get some time alone together. How about at work? Like, I know that, and I want to talk a little bit in a moment about your individual skill sets, but how at work do you guys manage? Like, obviously, David, you're the leader of your home. You are the covering, and yet you both work together. And so I know the dynamic has to shift a little bit when you're at work. But how do you guys navigate the shift from being at home to being at work? Like when you're at work.
Yeah, we make a really good team together. I feel like there are a lot of strengths that Korea has that I kind of like as a weakness, and there's a lot of strengths that I have that Korea has like struggles with, and so I feel like we really come at it from a teammate's point of view, and we're working together in this to create, the plans that God has for these kids. How do we bring these kids up in knowing Jesus and having a true relationship with him, and we talk about it all the time, and it's so cool to get to talk about it with your best friend.
Yeah. I love that perspective. That's great.
And so really teammates.
Yeah. Let's talk about your skill sets. You mentioned skill sets. So David, what are some of your strong, let's talk about your skill sets that are strong. And then we're going to talk about your skill sets that are your weaknesses, because we all have them.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I'm a very creative person. I love adding games and silly effects in my what I teach the kids, and object lessons. I love object lessons, and just bringing something in and talking about this object, because I truly feel like the kids are going to remember this object and have these memories about what they are, and I can really form a story about it, and that way that the kids are connecting the object with, okay, this is the story from the Bible that I need to remember. Right. And so I feel like I do those things very well. The place that I struggle in is getting those things down on paper. They're all up here. And I can say them all out loud, super fast. And to my leaders, especially, I'm like, okay, this, and this. Doesn't that sound awesome? They're like, what are you talking about?
They're like, where's the rundown?
Okay, David, this is where you and I are exactly similar, is that it's a circus town up here, and I fully expect everyone to be hardwired in, so they just get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
And there's all this stuff, you could just say it, right? Like you said, you can say it and it's all in there, but to get it down on paper, it's I don't want to write it down, because that's boring, and I don't want to just write it out, because then I feel like I lose my flavor, I lose my fun, right? Yeah. That's awesome. I relate with that, but yet people do need the rundown. So Korea, let's talk about your skill sets, and then we'll talk about your others.
My weaknesses. So I am more administrative. That's kind of where I thrive. So doing the rundowns and typing things out. Often I will just say, okay, David, just speak. Just say everything that's on your brain, and I will type it in. Just tell me what you want for the worship, whatever. That way your leaders have a rundown. And so I just really thrive in that. But I think where I have a weakness is the fun relational aspect, in some ways, the fun creative. So he definitely brings that to the table, and we often will divide and conquer. So David will go and talk to however many people he wants in an hour or whatever, and I will go back to my computer and I will do all the administrative stuff so that we're all set.
That's awesome. Yeah. I look at you guys are so perfect, right? Because your strengths are her weaknesses, and her strengths are your weaknesses. but I think that while that's a blessing, it can also, I don't want to call it a curse, because I don't like that word, but but it can also be a hindrance. So are there ever times where you can look and go, wow, we really have to safeguard this part, because, I can tell you, doing anything administrative is I feel like I'm suffering. It's almost the equivalent of physical pain to sit down and spend all day doing emails. I'd rather be in prison, But how do you guys balance that? Heyo, that's Simon from Roller Coaster Crafter. Also, Shar said earlier, either you're her favorites or object lessons are her favorites. But I have a feeling that she's talking about you guys. So you guys are awesome. But yeah, how do you guys, because that takes careful, especially because it's one thing to counter each other at work, but to go home, like, do you guys hit a reset button? Like, talk about some of that. Like, what's your guys' process for dealing with each other's differences? Because they're there and they're a blessing, but they can also, I think, cause a hindrance. And I'm not if they haven't, then I take my words back. So.
Oh, no, they've definitely caused hindrances.
I don't think I've shared this with you, David, but recently, because I really struggle not, like you're talking about how that doing emails will suck the life out of you. Like, it's just like, no, I can't do that. If I don't sit down at my desk and get emails done, that sucks the life out of me. And I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And it's the same thing at home. If I feel like the home is a mess and things are not orderly and put together, I'm literally feel like I'm drowning. And I would get frustrated a lot. I mean, I still do. Sometimes with David thinking, why aren't you doing these things that I want you to do? And God's really been speaking to me lately. I haven't told you this, but on recognizing what my gifts are, recognizing what his gifts are. And instead of seeing what he's not doing, I'm championing him. And I'm like, okay, I got this. I can do this because this is what God has made me to do. And so I'm going to move forward doing what I need to do and allow him the space to breathe and not be, feel like death with all these organization and things. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like even at work, I was going to say back to work is, I mean, we all the time, she's like, well, do you have the rundown done? I'm like, no, I don't have the rundown done. She's like, oh, Mom, we gotta get the rundown done. I'm like, okay. So then I sit down and it takes me like literally like 45 minutes to do like a rundown. And she gets it done in 5 minutes. And I'm like, like this is just.
So I do the rundowns. I'm just, nope.
We try to, and so, but if I don't have it done though, that's when it comes up like, come on, like, let's do this. Or vice versa, where, it's like I will spend time, in the fun side of it, and she'll be like, okay, well, like let's get to the the planning side of it, and I'm like, well, let's have a little fun though. Let's have a little bit of excitement. Like let's dream a little bit,
Right. Yeah, because it's interesting that in order to get your juices going, like Korea, you have to sit down and do emails. And David has to I don't know if it's like play a game or like do some some creating to get the juices going. And so you guys have to figure out how to do both of those so that you're both at the end of the day feeling fulfilled. Yeah. Now, talking about home life, and you guys can say no comment because I fully respect boundaries. But do you guys ever because you probably drive home together, I would imagine, unless you're on a board or something like what I ride home. But do you ever go home and kind of scrub off the day and then reset for the house, or do you guys take work home with you? Do you discuss ministry at home? Because some people would say that ministry is a life calling, and when you're married, you both understand that, you talk about it all the time. But some people would say we never talk about ministry at home. So how do you guys navigate that? Because there's a lot of people that are also in similar situations with you guys that maybe need to hear what your methods are.
Yeah. Well, God is our number one, and then our family is our second. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's from the very top at GB Christian that we need to put our family before ministry and our job and those types of things. And so typically when we go home from work, we don't talk about ministry. We'll hang out with the kids or eat dinner or stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes we have to do work at home. Like if we have Wednesday night tomorrow or chapel and we didn't do it, we weren't able to do it, or we didn't do it, then I'm gonna have to write a message tonight or we do rundowns, because that's just what we need to do as the leaders. But we really try to keep that time for our family, and not just our kids, ourselves too. We love to watch TV together, and so we're watching a show right now together that we just have, a snack at night, or do we eat dinner and we just kind of, watch some TV.
Yeah. Do you guys have a ministry safe word Like you're at home and say, David, you're like, hey, I thought of this idea, and Korea, you're like, I really don't want to talk about ministry right now. So you're like, bumper, and you're just like, I don't want to talk about ministry.
We should make one.
We should make one. Usually what happens is we just look at each other like, you want to talk about work right now or not? Like, where's your headspace?
Well, like even this morning, Korea was like, hey, never mind. You're not in the, because I was feeling sick this morning. So she's like, you're not in the mood to talk about work right now, right? Yeah. And I'm like, no. And she's like, okay.
I love that she sensed that about you. And Rebecca said earlier, and Ben, bring that up again. She said, and God said, man needs a helper. And not just, and I say man, I think it's, obviously God gave Adam Eve, but I love how in the dynamics of a marriage, especially when you're in ministry together, I think that there's a lot of positives, but there's also a lot of challenges, and the positives, I believe, should outweigh the challenges. But I love that you guys have identified your skills and your strengths, your and your weaknesses, and that you build each other up, and that those don't become a thing of scorn or such immense challenge that it really hurts your marriage. Because I like that you guys put God first, and then your family second, and then obviously ministry is third, and is from what I'm taking from that. As far as ministry planning, we all, you guys. And Korea, you work with the younger kids. David, you work with the older elementary kids, but you guys still plan lessons together. So when you guys go into lesson planning, what's your strategy for that? Like, because everyone has different ones. Like, for instance, I worked at a church where this lady was considering that the church was going to have her be my admin support, and her philosophy was, before you can create, you administrate. And I came out and said, that's absolutely wrong. How can you administrate something if it hasn't been created yet? So going into lesson planning, what's your guys' process as a married couple that's in ministry together? Like, how do you guys sit down, whether it's a lesson series or it's your Sunday service plan? Like, do you create first and then administrate? Like, what's your guys' process?
I was going to say, I think that, so for the weekend in particular, we so the way that we do it is we go based off of what they're talking about in the main services with the adults, and so all of our kids programs and youth programs, they all go off of that main theme. So let's say we're talking about the Holy Spirit, which is the series that we're on. Okay. Every single place, like the junior hires, the elementary school kids, the GB littles, the little guys, we're all talking about the Holy Spirit. And specifically, like, we might talk about the gifts of the Holy Spirit. So we're all talking about the gifts. We go into it usually with the big idea.
Yeah.
What do we want the kids to take home? Like, what is the main thing? If they didn't remember anything else, what is the one phrase that we want them to take home and that we want them to understand?
Yeah.
And we try to boil it down to really just one sentence, because we want them to be able to understand, like this is, what we're trying to say to you.
Yeah.
And then everything kind of points back to that one thing. So we'll create games and our lesson and all that stuff.
Yeah, I would say from my perspective, it feels like we're doing the creative part first. We'll start off with a Google Doc, really, and like just put all of our ideas in. But at some point, if you look at my computer, I've got the PCO rundown out, and I am plugging stuff in as David is still like, thinking about all of the creative.
Like, whoa, look at this video. Oh, look at this object lesson.
Yeah, and I'm like, as I'm like plugging in the, the different elements. So
I love that you guys are taking two separate paths to get to the same point, and not that you're not walking together, you are, but what I just pictured was that, and I have learned this, that administrative is very creative. It's not, you can't define creativity as something fun and like just that, right?
Yeah.
It's even organizing emails is a very creative process. Some people enjoy it, some people don't. However, I love that you guys are coming from two different angles, but both arriving at the same destination, and I can imagine the joy, Korea, of getting that rundown put together and having joy in that. And David, you having joy in the more like abstract, like fun visual, those kind of things. And then you guys kind of coming together at that moment, and then bam, you have a service plan. Am I close? Is that an accurate description of what you guys do? That's awesome. Now, on the flip side of that, have you guys ever had and I hope this isn't causing a problem, the Richters or the Withies are there for you guys as counselors.
Yeah.
But have you guys ever encountered a challenge where you're like at an impasse? Like David, you're like saying this, and Korea's saying this, in ministry related, not so much at home, but like where you guys have to then navigate how to come out of that challenge and still love each other. You know what I'm saying?
On a funny note, if someone asks me a question that is a little, I don't want to answer it or it's too much, I'm like, I'll talk to Pastor David. I revert to him because technically he's the pastor, so it's up to this guy what he wants to do. But I think it just depends on the situation.
Yeah. If there's ever an impasse, I feel like that's what's so cool about our next gen team. So even though like we're in kids together, right? We also have our youth pastor, Pastor Jason Varghese. We have a 1825 director, Shelby Scott. But then overall, all of us, we have Pastors Rebecca and Steve Withy, who are able to just span the whole next gen ministries. And so I feel like every time, if we had a disagreement or like a differing opinions, we would probably go to Becca and Steve to
seek wise counsel,
or even the team, even Jason and Shelby and those people to seek what they think. Maybe I'm making a bold move, I don't know,
Yeah. I love that you're both like, I sense such humility from both of you that you're willing to seek counsel outside of your own opinion, because a lot of people I think struggle with that. I think the pressure of ministry makes people feel that you have to have all the answers, and if you don't have the answer, then you're failing. And so therefore you'll ride that train of ignorance or your own opinion, So I love that you guys have a support staff. And I also love, you said earlier that Green Valley, not Garden Valley, Green Valley supports this idea of family. I wouldn't say it's not even an idea. It's the wisdom of putting family over ministry. So to that, Ben, I'm using my one applause. Well done, Green Valley. I love that. And I honestly, when we visited your guys' campus, the joy that I sensed just being on campus from everyone that worked there, there is definitely God's Holy Spirit is definitely on that campus, and you feel it from when you drive into the parking lot. Even when you drive your car onto the dirt and are asked to repark your car, it was still asked with joy. That was Pat McConville's fault. Well, you guys are. Go ahead.
Now, there's a giant orange sign now that says "Don't park here."
Is that because of us?
I have no idea. I wonder.
Well, you guys are really doing a phenomenal job, and I know that it extends beyond the reach of Las Vegas. There's a reason why Shar said you're her favorites. That you guys are inspiring, and I would say anyone that's in marriage, if you're watching this, if you're married and you're doing ministry together, just feel free to I'm throwing you guys under the bus here. Reach out to the Richters. Just go to, what's your guys' website? Green Valley Christian.
GVChristian.com.
GVChristian.com. GVChristian.com. Find them on there. Feel free to ask them questions and just load them up. Just, Korea will answer all of them, and David will say, have fun. Have fun, Korea.
I will.
Well, so I have something that I want to do. You guys get to do this together. It's going to challenge you. It would challenge me. But there's a little game, and I actually did use AI to create this image. I just typed in, guess that lesson title, and this is what came up. So we're going to play a little game, if you guys will. I have my ding and my buzzer all ready to go. Ben, here we go. Ready? It's called Guess That Lesson. Look at that photo. There's something deeply disturbing.
It's the eyes. They're all going different directions.
This.
Oh my goodness!
This just makes me feel better about the fact that you can't replace humans with AI. So AI, nice try.
One of them had 8 fingers.
What's that?
I think one of them had like 8 fingers. Well, is that a hand?
It's just there's a hot mess going on here. I don't know what's happening.
AI is scary.
AI is messed up. All right, here's the deal. We're going to I'm going to show you an image, and you have 10 seconds to come up with what lesson is being presented to the kids based on this, okay? You have 10 seconds to guess. Here we go. This is the first photo. What lesson are we talking about? You can get close. But what are we teaching the kids this Sunday?
Can I describe the scene real quick as they're guessing or figuring it out?
Yeah, Ben, go ahead and describe the scene.
Okay, so there's a guy just like a Texan. We have a beekeeper. We got Pastor John wearing the bald cap with the glasses, and that bee, if you, in his left hand, he's holding a hand taser.
Right.
While interviewing the guy from Texas.
Okay, so here we go. It's time to answer. What lesson?
All right. Death
What?
has no sting
Death has no.
because a Texan.
Too soon. I didn't get the concept.
I didn't even finish.
Sorry.
Jesus is a Texan.
Jesus, no. The lesson was the Beatitudes, and it was about being a peacemaker, obviously.
Yes.
I was gonna say the bee had a bad attitude.
The bee does have a bad. The bee is very, very disciplinary. All right, here's your second photo.
What's happening?
Good.
Isn't it
Lord.
obvious? All right, you guys.
Describe that scene.
All right, so it's a bunch of inflatable characters, and the bit was taken, inspired by something Jimmy Fallon used to do with telephone booths. As far as trivia, you guys had a clue there. There's a big clue in the photo.
I believe I do know that that bit where there's two telephone booths and they get the question wrong, then they have to.
Yep.
That person in the telephone booth. I was going to guess the Easter Bunny with all of his friends. That was my.
Okay, you know what? We're going to give you this because it was for Easter service. We played that game. That was a behind the backstage photo of the. It was a silhouette of all those characters that the kids looked at on the other side of that wall. So, all right, here's another one. We're going to do two more for time's sake. But here is your next photo.
Butterfly.
This was all you.
No, me. I'm like stuck on the last photo. I don't know. Being transformed. There you go.
You know what?
Dang.
This is this right here. Being transformed. We ordered live butterflies, not the ones you grow, live butterflies from Orlando, Florida for our Easter service. They came overnight shipped. We had to keep them refrigerated, and we did a magic trick where they came out of a bag because you go from being in a place of sin to being transformed. And that's exactly what the lesson was. So well done. All right, we have one more. We have one more photo, and this is you have to guess what the lesson was. Okay.
Okay.
What is this? I've never seen this before in my life.
That is.
I literally was about to say, don't you have a picture with someone's handprint on your butt?
Wait, that was you?
That's David.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, there's no lesson behind this. Can you explain what's happening here? What is happening? Now this is I actually stalked you guys, and this is before you were married. And so
Definitely before we were married. I was in Nicaragua on a missions trip. That's why I'm super sweaty and disheveled. I don't remember actually climbing up those poles, but the handprint was someone that they painted. We painted these walls, and someone painted their hand, and they came up behind me, and they just.
Oh no! Oh.
I had it on there. I think I had one on the other side as well.
So we don't need to go into the lesson plan on that. So we'll just give you guys an automatic. David, I love your creativity, man. That's awesome.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
All right. We have one more thing we need to do. There's a special guest. We spun the wheel and it landed on somebody back there. And so we're gonna have Ben. Ben, you're gonna take over this, and I've got to go let him in. He's been waiting at the door drinking nothing but Nespressos.
Yep.
And so he's ready to go, I think. So, anyways, Ben, take over, and I'm gonna go get him.
All right. Hello, Richters. Okay,
Hello.
so this next part. So you guys are going to be leading the interview with this next cast of characters. Have you seen any of these before? Like the crazy characters that come on stage or come out and interview whoever is on this show. Have you seen that before?
Yeah, I have seen this before.
Gotcha. Okay, so this one's a little bit crazy.
Okay.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but I just wanted to know, with the way you guys do things, especially for you, David. Do you have any like, characters and stuff that you do on like a Sunday?
Yeah. I have some characters. I have. I
There's many.
I have many characters.
Many?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to know. Can you explain one to me? Explain one of your characters that you guys got.
I have a TV host that he hosts game shows, and so every once in a while we have a game show on the stage, and I kind of like swing around. And I say, "Welcome back to What Do You Know?"
That's right.
Mike Raffone. And so
his name is Mike Raffone.
Mike Raffone. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. That is so much fun. You know, I've seen that. Don't you guys have like a set that you made for that?
We have a couple of different sets, but yes, yeah, we do.
Wow.
We did have a green screen set that we made for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is incredible. Well, that's so much fun. Awesome. Well, speaking of crazy characters, I think we're just about ready. So, Richter's, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Best of luck to you, and we'll see you on the other side.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the most amazing magical show you have ever seen, or ever will see. Houdini has called this the greatest magical experience of wonder and magic of all time, so please stand to your feet and welcome to the stage, the greatest performer, ever.
Hello!
There we are.
Hello and welcome to the Great Zamboni's magical experience and wonder. Oh, you two look like fine specimens for doing magic. Yes. So, tell me, young squire, why are you here today? Are you here to see a magic show?
Well, we're here to ask you some questions as well.
Okay, I'm ready.
First question. How long have you been doing magic for?
Oh, how long have I been doing magic for? Well, I've been doing magic since I can remember. I've been doing magic longer than I've been alive.
Okay.
Yes, but I've had help. I've had help from my friend, and he's been...
Zamboni spilled coffee.
I've had help. This is Sparkles, and Sparkles. This is not real Sparkles. This is the stunt double for Sparkles. Because sometimes the real Sparkles doesn't want to do the magic tricks because he's afraid of all that stitches that he has to do. So, Ben, ready that mobile camera, would you? Because we're gonna take this Sparkles, which is the stunt rabbit Sparkles, and we're gonna throw him into a ceiling fan for your viewing pleasure. Why? Because magic.
Yep. Okay.
Here we go.
Hello.
Mobile camera ready?
Mobile camera's ready.
Get it on me.
Okay, there you go.
Here we go. Now point it at the ceiling fan.
The ceiling fan.
Here we go. Are you ready?
Ready.
Point it at the ceiling fan.
There we go. Hayden's cleaning up the spilled coffee.
Now.
Thank you, Zamboni.
There we go. What do you think of that trick?
Amazing.
Magical.
That wasn't the real Sparkles because this is the real Sparkles.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Sparkles. Say something, Sparkles. That's Sparkles. Now, do you have any other questions for me?
Yes, I have one.
Okay.
I want to know how many people you've sawed in half.
Oh, yes. Well, when you saw someone in half, you have to see their insides. And sometimes their insides look better than the outside because they don't practice good hygiene.
Pardon?
So when you saw someone in half, you just have to go, you twirl up your nose because sometimes, thank you, Sparkles, the insides look better, and therefore, I don't remember what you were saying, but all I know is magic. Don't you guys have a magical friend that helps you? Doesn't he perform in Vegas?
We do, yes.
So, would you say, I've always wanted to perform in Vegas, so maybe you'll put in a good word for me so I can perform on his stage with him live in front of all the people, in front of the millions of fans.
Millions of fans. I'll put in a good word.
Yeah.
Do you want to see an actual trick?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because I want to impress your friend, who will put us on stage and make me famous. So,
Okay.
all right. Here's a deck of cards, a standard deck of cards. You don't believe me? Watch this. See? And now the box is empty. Okay.
Whoa.
All right. There we go. And now pick a card, any card. Doesn't matter. This one.
Okay.
This one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it on top, and I'm gonna put it back in the box, like so. Like that. Ready?
Got it.
And then we're going to dump all the cards out. So now the box is empty again, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Except there's one more card left in it. And it's your card. Watch. It's your card. And it says you've bad at magic. It says you've bad at magic. That means you've got bad magic. That's why he needs my help. Yes. Any other questions?
Do you have another question?
Yes. What's under your hat?
What's under my hat? More cards, of course. In fact, I can do that trick that your friend, his name's Zilio, Filio. His name is Damien. Damien Farrell.
Farrell
He does this. And I can do it too. So therefore, Vegas, here I come.
You got it.
If he asks what I look like, take a picture.
Okay.
And people will come.
We'll say.
All right. Well, I've got to get back to my magic tricks.
Yes.
So, watch this.
Thank you for watching the Great Zamboni be the best part of the show.
Okay. All right. So you don't have to worry about telling. Damien about that. Just heads up. You know, he'll be probably institutionalized by then. So.
Gotcha.
That was great. Yeah, because everybody was flinging his arms over and just dumped a bunch of coffee all over the table.
Sad.
It was great. Dude.
Was that your coffee,
It
Ben?
was his coffee.
Oh, it was his coffee. Yes. All right, there we go.
Did I miss it?
Yeah, you missed it. The whole thing.
What did I hear about this microphone? What is this?
Microphone, remember?
His name is.
He's my a game show character.
Game show host.
Game show host character, yeah.
His name is Mike Raffone.
Yep.
I love that. I love that. You guys actually have Farrell Dillon is a real magician. Just so everyone knows, Farrell Dillon's a real magician. He performs on the Vegas Strip, and he's one of your guys' adult volunteers.
Amazing.
He is.
He is. Yeah.
Amazing.
That's his assistant, actually.
And his wife's his assistant on the show.
Correct.
Yeah.
Kind of like how you guys are working together in kids ministry. It's very similar. That is so awesome. In fact, I have a photo no, that's not the right photo. That's what's going on there. There it is. That's the photo. When I went to Vegas, I thought you guys put him up to this, but this guy really is. If anyone's watching this, go to Vegas. He really is a class act. I mean, he has a great show, and there was so much about his show. I felt like a little kid watching him, and when he called me up on stage, I was like, "Oh, you guys put him up to this, but you guys didn't."
We did not.
We did not.
Fantastic,
not.
fantastic. Just don't tell Zamboni; he'll get jealous and then want to bogart the show. So,
Gotcha. Sounds good.
well, you guys have been really. You guys are such great, awesome people, and and I don't just say this lightly. You guys really are people that inspire me. And we just had our staff meeting or our group meeting this morning, our group therapy meeting. What do you call
Group
it? Ben?
therapy, ministry therapy meeting.
Children's Ministries group therapy,
Okay.
kids ministry meeting this morning. and I talk about what you guys do as far as your series. And I do want to copy, and I will give you absolute credit, the one where you had the Crocs, the What a Croc.
What a crock.
Yes.
Yeah, What a Croc. I mean, amazing. And I've often said I'm always looking for kids pastors that are inspirational to me, and you guys do inspire me. And not just David, I know you and I connect in our creativity, but Korea, in your ability to administrate, I highly respect that. And I think it's absolutely necessary to have the organization, because I do see that as creativity, as well as the what people perceive creativity to be in both you guys. And I see you as this amazing bundle of just kids ministry awesomeness. So even going back to the COVID days, you guys were busting out your own content when you do your vacation Bible schools. You guys just kill it, and I think that there needs to be more people like the Richters in this world. So thank you guys so much for doing what you do.
Yeah, we appreciate you a lot.
100%.
Well, thank you, and
Likewise. 100%.
I love doing ministry with you guys, and I definitely want to come back to Vegas. I want to see more Pharaoh Dillon and just have some more fun. So I will leave Zamboni home, though, because no one needs that.
I was gonna say, just make sure you don't bring Zamboni with you.
Well, you guys, I hope you'll come back on the show again. We'll have different conversation about a different subject matter, but you guys are awesome, and thank you guys so much. Any other questions? Anything we can do for you?
No.
You want a free card? You want a trip to? How about this? You guys just won yourself. You guys just won yourself a trip to Vegas. I just gave you guys. What was that?
I said couples therapy after this podcast. That we're
Couples therapy and a trip to Vegas.
Yay! Well, we always
All right, you guys. Thanks so much for coming on the show, and thanks for all of you guys that are watching and contributing in your comments. This is a conversation, and if you guys have any questions for either the Richters or myself, hit us up on Facebook in this comment thread. We'll do our best to get back to you, and as always, just keep being awesome for kids in the name of Jesus. So, you guys, thank you. Ben, thank you.
Of course.
For all you do. Ben,
I got
say
it.
one more thing. Ben, just say one more thing.
One more thing?
Yeah.
Tax exemptions.
I couldn't quite get the buzzer fast enough. I wanted to cut you off. Ben, do you remember when you were a kid? I used to make you go around to other adults and say, "I'm a tax
exemption." That wasn't funny until I grew up, and then I understood.
See, Richter's little parenting advice: warp your kids long enough, and they'll turn into kids ministry people.
perfect.
Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching In My Head. It is time to go. Just quick announcement, and no, it's not
Oh,
this.
that was cool.
But you know what? Twitch.tv/Muskimo_Joe. I'm just kidding. Quick announcement: we will not be airing In My Head next week because it's district council, and we'll be doing district council-y stuff.
That's right.
It's where all the pastors get together and talk about important things like.
Hold on, check this out real quick.
Yes.
Oh, hold on. Okay, watch this. This is amazing.
Okay, I'm watching.
Guest cam.
Okay.
And back to you. Seamless. Just
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Let's do that again.
Okay, ready? Ready, guest cam?
Yep.
And back to you.
You know what? We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, where we're gonna have another episode of In My Head, and we're gonna have a brand new guest. So thank you guys. Thank you to the Richters. Brent, bring that back up.
Bring what back up?
Bam. Wow.
Is this what you meant?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Richters. We'll see you guys later.
Guys.